What's up, everybody? It's Carpo here. I'd like to talk, hopefully shortly, about something that is an ongoing problem in our society. It's something that I've addressed once or twice, but I've never really gone deep on. I probably won't in this one, but this is complicating language. You know, one of the things that any company who's trying to sell their product knows is the more official and technical sounding you make something appear, then the more people go, ooh, that must be special. And I've seen this nowhere more than in the legal realm, the way that we have cumbersome and overcomplicated language in politics and in these bills, and especially when you're signing away your life to some agreement. It's always very difficult, and people have to read things 5-10 times and still don't understand what it's even saying. This is a huge problem in society. It is. It's done purposefully. It's done purposefully to obscure the main points. You know, whenever there's a new, say, healthcare bill, there's 1,000 pages to read through of random shit that repeats itself over and over and over, just so you can hide one little triviality in there. It's just like when you agree to Facebook or Verizon or anything else, and the agreement's pretty mundane and boring, but there's always something in there that gives your power away. So when it comes to buying products, everybody wants you to think their product is the best. So how I've mentioned this in the past has been through the new age type things, like these quantum pendants, and everybody reverts back to these old terms. Nobody wants to go with the new science, so they use old stuff from old scientists back in the 30s. And oh yeah, this is Wilhelm Reich did this, and this is scalar energy, and they proved this long ago. And so using fancy words allows you to not have to describe how something actually works. But there's also another side to it besides selling products or services. And this is when individuals want to sound important. This is what I would call the intellectuals. Now, I know a lot of big words, but I really make my best effort to simplify things, because I don't want to sit and speak and have people have to decipher what I'm saying. In other words, you may understand large words, but when there are too many stuffed into one sentence, it's very difficult for our brains to decipher them if we don't hear them all the time. And the most important thing is to get the information. So, life is simple. Words are simple. Conveying messages is simple, and we are the ones that are overcomplicating it. Now, as a person who has things that I could never explain to people, there have been times where I'm laying there with some friends, maybe we ate mushrooms, and say, man, if there were only words to describe what I'm feeling right now. More often than not, those words don't exist because you can't describe it, because you don't even know really how you feel. No matter how complicated a language may get, you still can't describe some things. But some things are just so simple and obvious. An example I was going to read is this sentence. It was like this long paragraph talking about, children and curfews and all this stuff. And in the end, they showed a one sentence that explained everything the entire paragraph explained in a coherent, simple 10-word sentence. Do this, don't do this kind of thing. But when it's written out, to sound more authoritative, then people are like, oh, okay, this must be important. So, the thing that's funny is that you find out that somebody, you'll listen to somebody speak or read a chapter or a story about something, some information, and in the end you'll be like, wait, that's just saying what the other person said. And we waste a lot of time on this. In other words, it's like, get to the frickin' point, you know what I mean? And so I just wanted to throw that out there. It's the old KISS, the KISS, keep it simple, stupid. We used to say keep it simple, stoner. But that's because when we were younger and we smoked a lot of weed, we'd sit around and go, oh man, the universe, and get really deep into things. I was never a college kid. I never got into complicated languages just for the sake of language, but I read a lot, and I listen to a lot of technical type scientific things. So when I convey that message, I try to do it as layman as possible. The layman terms. This is how things are done in my mind, or this is what I'm thinking. Because the crucial aspect is to realize it's the subject you're trying to convey. Don't let the subject be, don't let yourself be the representative for this subject. It comes back to the old ethos, pathos, logos, you know. A good subject, a good logos, should speak for itself without you having to complicate it with language. But I guess I'm only saying that, why do we do it? If we have to sit and think about a word to describe something, but we have a simpler word for it, it's better off just to use the simple word. Especially when we're trying to reach a large audience or a large amount of people. If you're trying to fool people, use complex language. If you're trying to get through to people, make it as simple as possible. So I should just end it there. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and overcomplicate this by rambling on and on and on about different redundant, repeating things like I just talked about. Talk to y'all later. Keep it simple.